because I know some of this is going to hit home a little bit. But when I travel with a company, I've done this. I know you guys do this too. And you're on an airplane. They ask, well, what do you do? Right? What is it that you do? And I've heard the most creative responses all the time from, well, I'm in marketing, right? Or I own a business. But you notice we never say network marketing. Yeah, I'm a network marketer. We kind of shun away from saying, I'm in network marketing. And I'm frustrated that we do that because I don't understand why don't we stand tall and proud and say, I'm in network marketing. I market products that save people's lives.
Well,
does that make sense?
Come on now.
Because there's a stigma out there when you say network marketing or when you say I sell something, you want to say, oh, I'm not one of those guys, right? I'm not a sales guy. Guys, you're either a sales guy or you work for a sales guy.
Well,
and that's about the only two ways that you can split that orange, okay? And I want to tell you why there is power in a network marketing business. Break down the numbers financially for you of what. Now, you all signed up for this business for a reason, right?
Yes.
Some of us think we have a business, but we're confused on what business really is. But if you signed up for a network marketing business, I want to remind you of the reasons why you did that and why you're sitting here today and why this is an incredible opportunity. Now, I was a business major at BYU, and this formula looks complicated, but I want to break it down for you. It's not, and if there's one thing you remember today, I want you to remember this. And that is, 6 years ago, you all heard of Dane Ramsey or Susan Orman or some of these financial planners?
Yeah.
About 6 years ago, I was really into all this financial planning, and then I realized they all say the same thing, right? And this is exactly what they're saying. Financial independence is a residual income that is greater than or equal to residual debt. Right? If you are financially independent, all that means is you have a residual income that cancels out your residual debt. There's too many people in this company, in this country that we consider wealthy, but they are financially dependent.
Well,
If you don't believe me, go look at a doctor or a lawyer. No surgeon goes to work at 2 a.m. because they want to, right? They are not financially independent. Okay? They're not able to take vacations longer than 2 weeks because they're dependent on a paycheck. While they have a large income, they also have very large obligations they have to meet, right? Lots of us, the last time we saw financial independence was in our youth because we have no residual debt, no obligations to meet. So, you know what? If we get fired, no big deal. We'll just find another job because we have no debt. Well, life has a funny way. Unfortunately, in the United States, I'll prove this to you, we're really good at this part of the equation, right?
okay.
Unfortunately, our financial literacy never raised us to understand residual income.
Well,
Okay, we understand this formula really well. And that is financial dependence is when residual debt is greater than or equal to income.
all right.
This is a perfect definition of business ownership or investments. Those are the two residual income vehicles that are most often talked about, and this is employment. Right? If you don't believe me, if you're currently employed right now, you're probably in this area where your residual debts are greater than or equal to your income. And to prove that to you, if I said right now, let's go on a vacation, let's go wherever we want to go, who's with me? Lots of y'all said, well, let me ask the time off work. I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can bridge the money that long. I know this because lots of times we have these Morinda trips and people don't go because they're subject to a job they hate, a boss they don't like, a commute they can't stand, right? Does it sound familiar to anyone? All right? This is why we joined this business.
Okay.
We need to be building a residual income and lowering our financial obligations. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because your goal should be financial independence. So you do things when you want, you do what you want, when you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're subject to no one, you're a master of your own ship, okay?
All right.
Financial independence is our goal. We have to build a residual income to get to financial independence. You guys, I'll let you figure out this part. If you haven't figured out this part, I'll help you out, okay? I can spend your money for you if you don't like to. But residual debt, let me show you that Americans are very good at this, okay? The average American is 2 checks away from bankruptcy. If you don't believe this, look at the government shut down when people were furloughed, right?
Yeah.
People weren't talking about 2 weeks vacation, were they? They're worried about a paycheck. You know why? They need that money because they have financial obligations. They need that money to meet, right? They have not built a residual income. They've built a linear income. And they're on the wrong side of that equation. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense? Say yes.
Yes.
Bankruptcy is at an all-time high over the last decade. Lawyers can't file bankruptcies fast enough. Foreclosures are at all-time high over the last decade. Like I said, hopefully, I'm not speaking to any of you because lots of times these sit very close to home. And I don't know what happened in New York, but out west where we were, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Southern California, this is not the exception. It became the rule.
Wow.
People losing their homes. And these are grown adults with kids that are being kicked out, evicted from their own home because they have financial obligations they can't meet. You know why? One, the market crash, I understand that, but they didn't build a residual income to cancel out their residual debts.
All right.
We take on debt before we have the residual income to pay for them. Okay? Americans spend more than they earn. That's the most troubling statistic to me. Both our government and as us as a people, we spend faster than we earn. So we're not able to do the things we want, and we're not able to pay for the things that we want. Right? How exciting would it be to go to a car dealership and go buy that Mercedes E-Class or S-Class or BMW, I don't know what car you guys want to drive. And when the guy asks, well, how are we going to be financing this? And you say, with a check, right? How refreshing would that be? Or when you go to buy a home and they say, okay, well, we're going to do a 30-year fix or an ARM, and you say, no, I'm just going to write a check for it, okay? That's the kind of power where we're trying to focus your mind in. That should be our financial goal. Your business is a vehicle to that financial independence. Does that make sense? If you don't have a vehicle that leads to you to financial independence, you're in the wrong game. And I don't know about y'all, but if I'm not playing a game to win, I'm going to take my ball and go home, right? We're in it to win it. And I'm going to prove to you that your Morinda business will take you to that promised land, that financial independence, all right? Otherwise, you could just wander around in the desert forever. Okay?
Well.